Are you staring down the barrel of a Mega Plus boss in Digimon story, Time Stranger, and feeling down to the wire, totally overwhelmed? You're not the only one. The game throws 41 major boss battles at you across 42 chapters. And when you crank up that difficulty, they stop being a fun challenge and start being a true roadblock to saving the world. If you're tired of watching your perfect team get wiped out, stick with me. I'm going to break down the exact strategies you need to dominate every single boss and beat the game no matter the difficulty. What's up, fellow agents? What's up, internet? I am Vianca and welcome to the second part of our comprehensive Digimon story, Time Stranger, New Game Plus, Mega Plus guide and walkthrough. In part 1, we talked about what to expect on this challenge, including how to prep, and deep dived into the most notable Digimon you can take with you for an effective team composition. In today's video, we are focusing on all the boss battles you can encounter during the prologue section of the game, which encompasses 11 of the 42 chapters. I'll walk you through the exact strategy I employed to beat them. If you want to jump into a specific boss, the timestamps on this video can help you. Let's get started by breaking down the first set of bosses you will encounter in the chapter Signs of Anomaly. The very first boss encounter, MetalGreymon Blue, in the Giant Pit is triggered on your way to the Tokyo Metropolitan Government Building. Now, if you're tackling this on Mega Plus with a fully established New Game Plus team, let's be honest, this fight is a total pushover. You're actually supported by Omegamon, but your maxed out Digimon will likely outdamage him 5-1. My team for this run happened to be Susanomon, Gracenovamon, and Mastamon, with the equipment as shown. But the truth is, you could use almost any of your maxed out Digimon and win. There's virtually no real strategy required. It's essentially a story-driven, mandatory tutorial fight. However, if you want to speedrun this fight like I did, here's your trick. MetalGreymon Blue is weak to lightning and ice elemental attacks, and he takes extra damage from vaccine types. Throw in Gracenovamon and hit him with Caledon Arcus and with Susanomon's Yakuza no Ikatsuchi, and it's a quick victory. The funny thing about this battle is that Inori is going to hand over 5 HP 1 capsules, saying we should use it. And well, you can't really use items during battle under the Mega Plus difficulty. Now, this next enemy isn't exactly a required boss, but he's easy to run into. I'm talking about Chaosdramon, who is found roaming inside the Tokyo Metropolitan Government Building, potentially blocking your path to the elevators. If you accidentally trigger this fight, the same team we use for MetalGreymon Blue works perfectly, as Chaosdramon is also weak to water, ice, and vaccine types. My biggest piece of advice for you is to not wait for him to initiate the battle. Instead, open the fight with a Digi attack. This will instantly knock off around 17,000 HP, and then using Caledon Arcus from Gracenovamon and Frozen Bullet 3 from Mastamon will be enough to defeat him in a single turn. After Chaosdramon, our next major challenge comes much later on the rooftop of the Tokyo Metropolitan Government Building after traversing the 24th and 36th floors. This battle is against Kuwagamon. I'm sticking with the same team again, but for completely different reasons. Kuwagamon is weak against fire, lightning, and vaccine types. All 3 of our core Digimon have powerful attacks that hit these weaknesses. Gracenovamon's Eclipse Finger and Susanomon's Yakuza no Ikatsuchi. For Mastamon, I had her equipped with the Burst Flame 3 and Lightning Claw 3 attachment skills, both of which are viable options to use that deals massive damage to Kuwagamon. With a high field cross art set in play first, it took me just 2 turns, a total of 4 attacks, to defeat this insectoid boss. Moving on to Chapter 4, Reunions Bring Trouble. This chapter's boss battle is triggered as soon as we find Inori and Ku in the Shinjuku underground waterway, and it is against Raremon. For this fight, I switched up the team slightly to maximize damage against Raremon's weaknesses, fire and light elements, and vaccine types. My lineup was MetalGreymon Paladin mode, Susanamon, and Mastamon. These 3 are my heavy hitters that best fit that damage profile. A key part of the strategy here is Mastamon's Holy Desire skill, which amplifies the light weakness Raremon already has. So, once again, with high field deployed in the first round, it took only 5 attacks over 2 turns, spamming Omniblade, Amano Habakiri, and Holy Desire to defeat this foe while taking minimal damage. Now, the only real threat that Raremon poses isn't actually his power, but his skill called Sludge. This skill has a 50% chance to inflict poison, while also reducing target's defense and spirit by 10% for 3 turns. To completely neutralize this threat, make sure you have multi-wall or poison wall equipped for this battle. If you do, Sludge won't be an issue at all. The 5th boss battle occurs in Chapter 6, Resonating Thoughts. This is the chapter where you accompany Inori and Hiroko into the Shinjuku underground waterway to search for Ku. After tracking Ku down 3 times in the underground reservoir, the fight against Cyclonemon triggers. Cyclonemon is a virus-type Digimon that is weak to ice and wind elemental attacks and vaccine types. To make this a breeze, we absolutely would want those elements in our lineup. I stuck with Susanamon, Gracenovamon, and Mastamon, but I did make a quick gear change, adding Windclaw 3 onto Susanamon's kit and giving Mastamon Sonic Shot 3. Now pay attention to the scripting here. When we drop Cyclonemon's HP to about half, which I managed to do in the first round using the High Field and Ice Wind skills combo, a cutscene will play. This scene introduces Agemon to the fight. Here's the quirk. Even if we completed the game prior, Agemon will always enter in his rookie form as a story beat. We can manually evolve him, which I recommend, to his Eijo Chusmon Holy form just to prevent him from getting easily KO'd. Cyclonemon is not known for dangerous attacks. His Hyper Heat only hits for 65 power and applies a fire resistance debuff. And if we spam his weaknesses, he would only be able to fire 2 attacks, one of which is the scripted Hyper Heat aimed at Ku. With the high damage from Kaladin Arcus, Sonic Shot 3, and Windclaw 3, and a bit of extra damage from Agemon's Lightning Shower, I managed to end this battle easily within 2 turns. Chapter 8, A Vow Made on a Starry Sky, holds the 6th major battle. This occurs during the search for Agemon's newly made friends, which brings us back to the underground waterway and to our first story-related outer dungeon. Inside, we will face not 1, but 2 Vademons, an ultimate virus-type Digimon. My starting lineup for this battle was Chronomon Destroy Mode, Gracenovamon, and Mastamon. Here's why. Vademon is initially weak to fire and null elements. Chronomon Destroy Mode's Holy Flare is a fire-based physical attack that hits both enemies, and Gracenovamon also provides that fire damage. Mastamon uses Chaos Degradation to hit the null weakness. For Agemon, I kept him in his holy form, using Lightning Shower initially. Now, during the battle, usually on their first turn, these pair of Vademons will use character reversal on each other. This makes it tricky if we only came here prepared to fight them with their initial weaknesses, as character reversal completely skews their resistances, making them more resistant to fire and null, but suddenly susceptible to plant and ice elemental attacks. This is why I manually switch Digimon to his green form. With his plant-based attacks, he became the perfect fit for the Vademon's new weakness profile. With Graysnovamon, I also switch from using Eclipse Finger to the ice-based Caledon Arcus to adapt while maintaining the use of Chronomon Destroy modes Holy Flare and Mastemon's Chaos Degradation. Apart from character reversal, Vademon also has Unidentified Flying Kiss, which is a dark magic attack that has a 30% chance of applying crystallization on your Digimon. So if you don't have multi-wall equipped on some of your mons, then it wouldn't hurt to, at the very least, have some crystal walls on them. Having said that, with how I effectively took advantage of their weaknesses, Vademon wasn't really able to deal any damage to my team as they ended up falling asleep because of Chusmon Green's attack during their turn. It took me 3 turns to defeat this pair of Vademons. Right after the cutscenes introduced from the Vademon fight, we will be tasked to head off to Kabukicho in Shinjuku, where we'll face Greymon Blue at the end of the crowd in Digimon Story Time Stranger's 9th chapter, Shinjuku Rhapsody. For this fight, I swapped Chronomon Destroy mode with Susanomon, specifically to utilize his powerful Yakuza no Ikazuchi special skill. Greymon Blue has a lot of elemental weaknesses, namely Ice, Water, Lightning, and Null, on top of his aversion to vaccine types being a virus type and all. This battle is essentially a tutorial for a crucial new boss mechanic, which is the enemy charging and the enemy special skills. You can identify bosses with this mechanic by the special CP gauge located to the left of their health bar. Now, despite the dialogue from Minervamon triggering, the funny part is that if we hit him hard and fast enough, Greymon Blue might not even get a chance to use his special skills. This happened to me during both of my Mega Plus runs. In terms of attacks and skills, this Greymon Blue can use Roar, which lowers the attack of all the Digimon in your front line, Awesome Quake 3, which is an earth-based physical attack that can damage your entire front line, Tail Swing, and then his special attack. Now, during my 2 Mega Plus runs, Greymon Blue used Roar, then Awesome Quake, a normal attack, and then a Tail Swing in that order, so I don't know if that is scripted or not. The only difference between my 2 Mega Plus run battles against him is that on the first run, he used Awesome Quake and then Roar following Tail Swing, while in my second run, he used Tail Swing twice before using Roar afterwards. Regardless, on both my runs, with my brilliant strategy to just spam Chaos Degradation from Mastemon, Yakuza no Ikazuchi from Susanomon, and Caledon Arcus from Graysnovamon along with the High Field Cross Art, I managed to defeat Greymon Blue in just 3 turns. Moving on to the 11th chapter, Truth Born from an Egg, where our next boss awaits. Titamon. Now before we start, here's a crucial secret. Titamon is a no-stress fight. What that means is that losing this battle will not give you a game over, and winning nets you no reward. You also don't need to waste any items on lower difficulties. I'm including him because he serves as the final boss of the game's prologue section, and besides, defeating him quickly on Mega Plus is still satisfying. Anyways, Titamon is our first Mega Stage boss, and he is yet another virus type 1. He is susceptible to fire and light elemental attacks. For this battle, taking into account his weaknesses, I had Graysnovamon, Mastemon, and MetalGreymon Paladin mode on my front lines. We can also go with Lucemon Satan mode and Susanomon instead of Graysnovamon and MetalGreymon Paladin mode if we want, which honestly was my team when I did this battle during my first Mega Plus run. The strategy is simple. Spam the light-based special skill from Chusmon Holy, Mastemon, and MetalGreymon Paladin mode while using Graysnovamon's Eclipse Finger. Doing this will end the battle in 2 turns, with Titamon not being able to do anything but his normal attack. And there you guys have it. 8 of the 41 bosses you will encounter in Digimon story Time Stranger, and how we can easily defeat them on a Mega Plus run. In the next video, we will be tackling the bosses from the first act of the game, which is from the game's chapter 12 to 20. I hope this video proves useful to you guys who are attempting to do the New Game Plus Mega Plus run. As always, if you have further tips of your own that you would like to share, or questions and clarifications that you may have, those are very much welcomed on the comment section down below. As hell, there are hundreds of Digimon in this game. I really am interested to know how other players are managing their New Game Plus Mega Plus run. Anyways, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, you guys know the drill. Dream on, fly on. Keep safe, everyone, and thanks again for watching. See ya!